I am a certified couples therapist, and I've been providing couples therapy for over 8 years. In this video, I will talk about 4 things that a couple should avoid that often lead to the destruction of their relationship. If you recognize that you engage in any of these things, do not be discouraged, as it is very normal for many couples. As long as you are willing to work on these areas, you can improve upon your relationship. The first is defensiveness. This is when a person refuses to take responsibility and address an issue. Instead, they redirect the focus to their partner, pointing out what him or her has done wrong. The way to prevent defensiveness is to speak non-defensively by using words like I feel or we statements rather than you statements. For example, saying, I feel frustrated when you don't ask what I need when I am sick, rather than, you never take care of me when I am sick. An example of a we statement would be, we should organize this room, rather than, you never clean up after yourself. The second is criticism. This is when one person attacks the other person's personality or character with accusation or blame, such as saying, you only care about yourself. An issue can be addressed by complaining rather than criticizing. It is important to complain rather than allowing the issue that bothers you to build up. When you complain, you want to speak specifically rather than generally. Avoid using words such as always or never. For example, instead of saying, you never communicate with me when you are out, you want to say, when you were out the other night and did not communicate with me where you were, I was worried. The third is contempt. This is when a person intentionally insults the other, either non-verbally by mocking or rolling their eyes at the person, or with words by calling the other person names like you're selfish or you're lazy. A person usually engages in contempt when they are speaking out of emotion. It is very difficult for a person to be logical when they are emotional, and this is why often words of contempt are regretted later on. The way to avoid using contempt is to calm down before you speak. Take space for about an hour to allow your heart rate to decrease and then re-engage in the conversation. If you feel your emotions have not died down after taking an hour break, you may need to readdress the issue the following day. It is important to let go of the urgency of the conversation and rather wait until both parties are no longer emotional, and then you're more likely to resolve the conflict when speaking logically with one another. The last is stonewalling. This is when one couple withdraws from the other and refuses to communicate at all. Refusing to talk about an issue will weaken the relationship. Oftentimes, one person may not be in the mindset to talk about a specific issue, and in that case, the conversation can be put aside for another time. I often have my couples use code words to let the other one know when they are not in the mindset for a conversation, such as the words table it. When one couple says it to the other, there is an understanding that the conversation will take place at another time. For example, one couple might say to the other, can we please table this conversation until this evening or until tomorrow? In order to improve your relationship, it is important to increase self-awareness and to work on these 4 areas of communication. It is very important not to point out to your partner that they are engaging in any of these areas, but instead work on your own role in the relationship.